Probably no viewers yet in this first second. Let's take a time to see if the sound is working and stuff like that. I'm here at my desk. I've got some candy, some chips, some crisps, some water, some coffee, and some chocolate. Should be good for a while, at least until we get this new rocket off the ground. Haha. Because yeah, we are going to be designing a big booming rocket to power the KSP Next series into the next millennium, or at least into the next couple of episodes. Yeah, okay, I'm on my laptop here that's functioning as a chat screen checker. The broadcaster has indicated that the channel is intended for mature audiences, so I'll just make that happen. Shit, fuck, asshole. Yeah, okay, now it's mature rated. Let's. Whoa, there's an ad. I don't get monetization cash from that ad. Alright then. That's on me, Twitch. Alright, the sound is going through. Now we just have to make sure it's not going. It won't like overwhelm. A rocket motor won't overwhelm my voice. That wouldn't be good. So let's resume a saved mission. Let's get a backup save from ages ago and see what happens if there is a rocket motor involved. I'm also gonna turn on. No, I'm actually gonna turn off my speakers so there's no reverb going on. So I'm gonna play in complete silence, and you can get the rocket nozzles. Let's see. We have this is really old stuff. Come to think of it, there's no reason to load up the old save game. I could have just loaded up the modern save game and just put a rocket in the simulator. But well, I'm gonna do that in the old save game now because apparently I'm an idiot. And you can get to, you know, if I'm suddenly stop talking, it's because I get distracted by the second screen, which is saying something about video quality. Let's check that out. Yeah, it's apparently the stream configuration quality is excellent. So that is nice. And the sound is on. Yeah, I'm gonna enable the sound and then just mute my laptop itself. Yeah, what I was going on about is, yeah, this rocket is ancient. You get the sneak peek into like one of the first couple of episodes where we didn't have good rockets, guys, but now we have a lot of technology nodes researched, and we should be able to build something nice. Should be able to, at least. And I hope, of course, some of you will start tuning in. I did put a comment on the Reddit, the Real Solar System Reddit. It's like, hey, I'm going to go streaming. And I put a forum post on the Kerbal Space Program forums, where I haven't been in a long, long time. But hey, you know, maybe they'll like this, even though they're. I think most people currently playing KSP are doing the vanilla game, not the Real Solar System. But doesn't really matter. Let's see. Hey, actually there is quite a few people in the stream. Sorry if I insulted any one of you, but hey, welcome. You're just checking out the settings here. Let's see. I'm gonna enable the sound on my laptop and fire this rocket motor. Right, there is a delay, so I'm gonna shut up for a few moments and see what happens. Let's see. I'm gonna enable the sound on my laptop and fire this rocket motor. There's the rocket motor. Right, there is a delay, so I'm gonna shut up for a few moments and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's me talking. I can hear myself in the reverb because my laptop sound is on, but I think the sound should be fine. I could hear myself talking over this motor just fine. Now this isn't the loudest one there is, but it should, well, as I said, it should be fine. So we're gonna ditch this save game and we're gonna get into it, into the researching, into the rocket building. And let's see who you viewers are. Actually, no, there is 0 viewers as I expected, but this, yeah, why does it say 8 viewers? I wonder about that. Hey, if there is anyone that's currently viewing, say something in the chat, because I don't know where these 8 viewers are coming from. It's not all that important, of course, but I get curious. I get curious. Or maybe just like the bot that's in there like 5 million times. Welcome to the chat room. All right, we're not here to chat, although I will try to monitor it and talk back if there is anyone in there. In fact, we're here to build a rocket. Let's have a look at the state. This is not the actual save game. We need to get into the proper save game. And I'll show you the state of it, the technology nodes we have researched, and what we're going to do about progressing here. It's realistic for realism overhaul. We're in 1972. I think we're also somewhat into that level of technology. Should be fairly close. At least we didn't have so many. We didn't have too many mishaps in the program. I think in the beginnings I missed a year because I failed to click something. Anyway, research and development. What we have improved stage combustion. Now this node looks useless because there's a tank, a avionics unit, and a water tank. Right, interesting node, right? But in the procedural engines, there's like configurations, and this node actually unlocks a lot of those configurations, so it's nice to have. We have advanced construction, same deal here. Procedural diameter upgrade, 10.1 meter diameter is now allowed. Before, this was only 7. So our rockets are like half as wide again, at least they can be. So I'm looking forward to using this in our designs. We have lots of heat shields as well. We don't have that advanced solid rocket motor, so probably going to be mostly liquid, which I like because that's versatile. We have the basic capsule and escape system, not like any ginormous great things. We have improved instrumentation. We get like more efficient satellite dishes. We got better solar panels and some cores, that's good, but we also have advanced just electrics. And this gives us the Communitron, which is omni-range, which is good. Some altimeter, I don't know what this does for us apart from the mapping add-on. And we've got like extendable sun tracking solar panels. That's just so nice because power has been a limiting factor on my previous designs a lot, so I'm looking forward to using these. This should make my probes and also manned capsules so much better. And an alkaline fuel cell, 710 watts. It uses fuel, which is of course not that great, but yeah, fuel cells. Basically, we've got electrics. The node is called electrics. We can stay functional, which is wonderful. So to recap, we've got bigger rockets, that's huge. We've got some better engine configurations. We have, I think we also got this one. No, we already had this one. I did get another cool node, I think. Anyway, what we want to do is we don't have this. What we want to do is we want to design a rocket, the first stage that they can use again and again. Because if I have to design a new rocket every time, this is never going to get anywhere, this series. We're at episode 15 now. We have sent stuff to the moon, but we haven't even thought about landing on it, just because I can't get the Delta V to work out. So we need good rockets. That's what we're here to do today. And of course to drink some coffee and eat some sugar and just, go to bed at unreasonable hours and go to work tomorrow. Oh, and apparently we're also here to suffer crashes. That's not great. Let's see if I can start up the game again. And let's enable the laptop to see if the stream is actually still on. Oh, and apparently we're also here to suffer crashes. That's not great. Let's see if I can start up the game again. And let's enable the laptop to see if... Alright, you may have heard some reverb there, but the game is currently loading. This takes quite a while because of all the massive add-ons that are there. Oh well, nothing to be done about that. For the YouTube archive, I'll probably edit this out because most of the beginning has been, well, rambling, checking, explaining what we're going to do. Well, the explaining what we're going to do part could be nice, I suppose. Now, I'll just put a jump link to where the actual designing starts. That should that should serve everyone's need. Also, I'm not going to run this through my editing software. This is just going to be straight ported from Twitch to YouTube, which well, will make any sophisticated editing a little bit harder. Doesn't matter. We're still online. The streaming software hasn't, in fact, crashed itself. I still want to do rocket design, and I'm already starting to repeat myself. What the hell? That's not a great sign. I'm gonna take the opportunity of this loading bar to refill my coffee, actually. So you'll hear me put down the headset, and I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, there we are. I think my rocket is going to resemble the N1. Like a big Soviet rocket, as big as it can get. Then a lot of engines on the bottom. The highest thrust ones we get, or the ones that burn the longest. Probably have to optimize the first stage for total impulse, and then just add extra engines to provide the required thrust to weight, or side boosters. We're gonna have to take account of the rated burn time of the engine, the specific impulse, although not that much for the first stage, the thrust obviously, and most importantly the thrust to weight of the intended rocket. And that's a hard one because it has to be a generic thing. We're gonna slap this under everything. So what we're currently probably going to do is get the first stage, get it as big as we can, then get a second stage that's like almost as big as it can be, and then we have a two-stage rocket, and then we can cut into the mass fraction of the second stage to put payload or a third stage. So then we have a base unit of a basic two-stage rocket where the payload is tiny and it has maximum delta V. And then we can modify that into a three-stage rocket or a two-stage rocket with payload instead of delta V as is needed. I think that should work. I hope it doesn't crash again. That wouldn't be very nice. Alright, here we go. Now what we have is custom categories. And they're all broken. No, they're not broken. Alright, we have here, I mean they're a bit broken because every time I add something to the category, it spawns a whole new category. That's probably not how they're intended to work. But we have some engines here, because if I go into the engine screen, it's like you go crazy. It's too much engine, right? So I propose we make a selection. We're not going to use this 1 kilonewton thruster. We're probably going to use the AJ10 for upper stages. The Astris is comparable to the AJ10, so we're going to leave that in. The RD0108, that's a kerosene liquid oxygen upper stage engine. I'm not liking this one too much. It's got cryogenic fuels, which means they boil off. It's got low thrust, which means you need to do a lot of planning with your burns, and it's got one ignition, so it's a tricky one. But it also got mediocre specific impulse, so this one is probably dominated. It's really light though. That's what it's got going for it. We've got the RD0210 here. This one I'm really liking so far. I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's half a ton. It's 500 kilos just for the engine. And it doesn't want to show me. Yeah, it's got 327 specific impulses in vacuum. One ignition only, so we need to be conscientious in how we use it. And it's using storable propellants. That's a pretty nice deal, actually. And it's rated to 238 seconds. Let's round that off to 4 minutes. 240 seconds. So, and we're guaranteed to ruin it after 360 seconds, which is actually pretty much more than that. But then again, we're guaranteed to ruin it, so it's probably ruined before. So this one, I really like this engine for second stages. I've used in the previous episodes, I've used second stages with one of these engines, but if we're gonna go big, I can imagine the second stage with like 4 or 5 of these engines that will just plow super hard into space. That's not a pornographic reference. I'm just thinking, if we can find a restartable engine that uses these fuels, we can make like 5, an outer ring of 1-start engines, and then have a center one for fine-tuning. So this uses unsymmetric dimethylhydrazine. What's the UDMH? It uses UDMH and nitric oxides, NTO. These ones are obsolete. I think the RD108, at least the RD107 is obsolete. No, I don't dare call them obsolete yet. This one, this is a beast. The RD253. This is going to be our liftoff engine. Yeah, it's got 285 specific impulse at sea level versus 241 and 250 for the older ones. And let's see how long this can burn. The RD107 engines and the RD108, that's the one we're currently using in the older stage. Let's see if we have... It does get better, this one does, with researches, but not as good as that one. So we're going to not use this one. This is usable for quite long, actually, 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes. So that's the strong point of the RD108. This burns forever. It's a reliable one. The RD107 though is gone. This one, man. The RD253 or the RD275. This one I kind of want to put on the bottom of my rocket because it's got 1.5 meganewtons of thrust at liftoff. Uses UDMH and NTO, so then our whole rocket would be using that. That's nice. Specific impulse is better than anything we've used so far. So, hey, Corey, I see some viewers in the chat room. Welcome back, long-time viewer from, well, long times ago. How are you doing, buddy? Hope good. Let's see. RD253, where was I? This is probably going to see quite some use. And then we have this one. This is a strange beast. It's a cryogenic engine. It's got the best vacuum specific impulse we have so far. It's got limited restarts and it's a cryo engine. So even though it's got good specific impulse, it's penalized by the fact that its propellants boil off. That's a pretty big deal. And it's only got 5 ignitions, even though 5 ignitions so far has been enough for any mission we have run. So I'm gonna keep this one in our short list to consider for maybe a second stage based on this one wouldn't be so bad an idea. It's got great specific impulse, but it's got so low thrust. But it's light. I can put like 10 of these engines on a second stage. And that way we could still fine-tune the orbital insertion and not have to do that in one big brawny burn, which is not good if we want our rocket to be modular, because then the big brawny burn will almost never be calibrated right. Coryzilla in the chat is saying there was a really big update and he has to reset all his mods. Yes, there was a big update. It's 1.2. That's not what we're playing. We're stuck with 1.1, whatever it was, because the realism overhaul, the real solar system, and all the mods that make these engines and fuels, they're not updated for 1.2 as far as I know. So I know nothing of this new big update. I'm currently considering a rocket based on the RD253, or its upgrade if we have that, an upper stage with this kerosene liquid oxygen restartable rocket, but then lots of them because it's such a puny thrust it puts out, and then put whatever payload we have or need on top of that, because this one does burn for a while. Look at that, it burns for like 10 minutes depending on which one we get. So 10 minutes or 5. That's an important difference. That's caused a mission in the past. Right, these are our shortlist categories. The separation motors, I want to use reaction control systems for that, so they're gonna go out of the shortlist. And I think it's also fair to say that this 108 thing, how long did this one burn for again? No, not this one. How long did this one burn for? This brawny beast. That burns for only 2 minutes. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Or is it? Can we make a first stage that will just punch through the atmosphere in 2 minutes? And then leave the rest to the puny engines over here? That's... I don't think so, actually. So maybe we need to bring like 2 sets of these? But that's inefficient, that's a lot of dead weight, that's effectively doubling the weight of these things. So maybe these are best suited to outside booster stages, and then have a center core of these ones? Because how long do these ones burn for? These burn for not that long either. They burn for about 4 minutes, but then again they provide half the thrust. So yeah, I'm not convinced of that one. This is 225 to 327, and this is 285 to 316. So this one is definitely better to lift off the ground from with. We're gonna start our build based on these, and then after 2 minutes I get a feeling I might want to do something with outer boosters, that these will be the booster engines, and then have a slightly longer burning engine on the first stage. Maybe like 5 or 6 of these, because they burn. I mean, they're comparatively shitty engines, but they burn for forever. Then we can have like a 5-minute burning core, augmented with 2-minute burning rabid outer boosters, and then we have the super efficient kerosene liquid oxygen second stage. I'm feeling that one. Let's have a look at the engines over here, see if we have actually unlocked a few that I may have missed. The E1. Oh my god, this one is interesting. Horrible specific impulse, massive thrust. Will burn for 2.5 minutes. I feel this one is dominated by the other one, even though it has even more thrust. This could be actually the engine of choice for an outer booster. Hey guys, welcome there in the chat. Some more people coming in. That's great to see you. I'm actually going to add this one to the category, so we can use it if we want. What do you have here? The H1. Again, pretty horrible specific impulse. How long does it burn? It does burn longer. This one burns for between 4 and 5 minutes actually, but the specific impulse is so terrible. Then again, the RD108 has horrible specific impulse as well. These ones do up the brawn a bit, that's nice. But then the RD108s, they just own it at the burning time, so there's less failures in those. I'm feeling a first stage based on this one still, even though I've been hating on it. Let's see. We have this one in our list, we have this one in our list. The Viking. We don't have this one in our list. Hypergolic propellant. Oh, we can't use this one. This one doesn't have the engine usability. That means they're infinitely usable, but that's cheating. We can't do that. The Viking 4, same with that. We have all the tools we need. Let's get building. Let's get building. We'll make that monster first stage based on a massive amount of RD108s, and then we'll put like 5 outer cores, not 5, 6 outer cores based on these monsters. Yeah, makes sense. We need something to put on top that we can then remove again. Let's just take a capsule. Nothing special. Yeah. Then we're gonna put a decoupler. We're gonna do everything procedural here. Diameter. Oh man, if you haven't looked at KSP in a while, I'm responding to the chat here. This mod configuration is going to blow your mind. Things are so fucking nuts. Engines burn out if you're like accidentally upside down. It's actually terrible, but we like it because it's hard. And you know that's why we go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. That's what I learned in school anyway. Let's have a procedural fuel tank. No, I should probably search for fuel tank. Or just tank, not schnuck. Looking for tank. Here's my procedural tank. Now what I do here is I just blow it up a little bit, get something to work with. We can make like 10-meter wide tanks now. Let's do that. This is going to be a monster stage. This is going to be a monster stage. This rocket is looking a bit weird, but we can deal with that. We're going to make it maximum diameter and maximum length. Holy shit, how long can we make these rockets? Alright, maybe not maximum length. This is getting nuts. Alright, 70 meters long is maybe a bit tall. Okay, I lied. We're not going to use everything. We'll dynamically make that. We need a thrust plate. This one here. Because this allows you to attach multiple engines on it. Like, yeah, a big thrust plate, and let's see, we're gonna offset the nodes by maximum amount, and we're gonna add some nodes. I think we're gonna need at least like 13 of these RD108 engines. Let's go to our engine screen. Let's get like a whole lot of those. Yeah, am I gonna have to make like add them one by one, or yeah, I think I'm gonna have to add them one by one, or aren't I? No. Yes. There we go. And one in the center. I want to get rid of the symmetry tool. Put one in the center here, and then reduce the offset. Alright, this is a super weird first stage now. It needs more rockets, I think. Now you'll see in the delta V calculation here, let's actually name our rocket as a... What is it? What is a alpha version of a monster? Is that like... I don't know, I'm overthinking this. Let's put it as a cookie. You'll notice that the delta V window is still empty. That's because this... this doesn't have any fuel in it yet, so we're gonna ask it to put some fuel. Let's put fuel. HTP, that's high test peroxide, that's the pressure and gas, and the kerosene and the liquid oxygen in the right amount. We want to fully use the tank, so there we go. And we want to have the tank type default. That's fine. Alright, now we see we get 8 kilometers per second of delta V. That's great. But we also see, oh my god, this is going to take 9 minutes. And we know that our RD108 is only rated for about, well, it's not in this window apparently, but we know from this, oh my god, there's so many windows everywhere. We know that, let me finish my thought, it's only rated for 5.5 minutes. So if we try to fly this rocket, the engines are going to fail. So we need to get through this fuel faster, or we need to bring less fuel. I think we're gonna err on the side of. Are you shitting me? This rocket is pretty heavy already. It's like 2.5 million tons. Um, maybe that's excessive. Do you think that's excessive? I think that's excessive. Look at that. We have like 14 times 4 engines, and we get a thrust to weight of a half. Yeah, okay, maybe downscale this tank a little bit. We still have a pretty wide one here at this point. Look at that. We like we cut the size in half, but the delta V reduced by like 200 meters per second. This was a silly tank. I have a feeling it's still a silly tank. Yeah, it's 1.3 million tons now, and you're saying the game is telling me the parachute is missing. This is not the worst problem this rocket has. All right. The problem this rocket has is there's not enough engines. Yeah, detach the parts before. Okay. Yar yar yar, and we'll do it right this time. We'll switch up the engine type because I know a more advanced one. We're going to remove these. We're going to open the GUI here and switch to this one, which has slightly longer burn time, 5 minutes 40 seconds, better specific impulse. Otherwise it's pretty much the same engine. Alright, we're gonna need some more nodes, and I'm gonna offset them so I can easily grab the nodes, and then I'm gonna move them in. But let's get some more. Let's see. Oh, 16 is max. Okay, we'll work with 16. I think I need some symmetry, and then the procedural part does the rest. Yeah, any symmetry setting works. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ha! And Greiswolf in the chat is saying that the alpha version of a monster is the thing that changed into Pikachu, which is a Pichu. Alright, well, so we'll rename the cookie into a Pichu. I think that's fitting. As soon as I get these engines into position. Let's see, we shouldn't forget the center one. Now we're using this engine, not because it's a good engine, but because it will burn for a long time. And that's what we need in this first stage. And if that cannot give us what we need to, if that doesn't give us the thrust or efficiency that we need to add on side boosters. I'm also seeing a slight problem develop that this super big honking booster is already costing 23,000, and that's like the total price of all previous rockets, like the complete rockets. So this may end up being an exercise of being slightly too expensive. But for the sake of development in this stream, I'm not going to worry about money. I can cheat a little bit if I end up spending everything on simulations. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get something nice off the ground. Let's get kerosene and liquid oxygen in there. Full utilization. 1.2 million liters. That's a big tank. 7.8 kilometers per second of delta V and 1.3 million tons of mass. That means we're gonna have to upgrade the launch pad as well before we get to launch it. That's pretty hefty. Let's make that. I mean, the thrust to weight at sea level is just about 1 now, and the burn time. Oh my God, we're on track. The burn time is only 3.5 minutes, so we need to increase the tank slightly. Yeah, we're going to go nuts. We're going to design the best rocket we can based on the big tanks, the thrust plates, and the engines we have. This is going to be a crazy machine that might even land people somewhere. And then if we run into problems of funding it, we'll see about that later. We're gonna build something that we like. 4.4 minutes, I think. If we're going to raise it even further. 5 minutes 10 seconds, 5:20 seconds, why not? But wait, how much delta V does this give us? A couple hundred meters per second. It's like, is that even worth it though? Yeah, let's start out because we need these meters per second because we're gonna build a heavy stage on top of it. People in chat are saying that this looks really Russian, and in the beginning of the stream, I did allude to it. Probably going to be like N1-ish. We are using Russian engines. That's true. Now the problem with this is if I launch it like this for testing, you know, strictly for testing, aerodynamics will make everything go crazy, because this obviously isn't very aerodynamic. So I think I'm gonna need to put like a temporary fairing. This one should do, yeah. So we're going to put that under the decoupler, and then add this, and then make it really wide. And then add set fairing somewhere. Yeah, and then we have a rocket that we can actually test. Is the thrust to weight below 1? It's gone crazy now. If the thrust to weight is below 1, obviously we cannot test it before we add side cores. Yeah, the thrust to weight is way below 1. So yeah, that's not going to work out of the box. This is where we bring in this little beast now. This little beast of an engine, producing 1400 kilonewtons of thrust, but this one will fail after 2 minutes. So we're going to add a lot of them on the side. Let's have a look. Let's get some decouplers first. This first stage, man, it's going to be a single stage to orbit almost. And then we're going to send stuff everywhere. But then it probably isn't going to work so well as a use this for everything rocket, because it is going to be incredibly expensive. But you know, we'll deal with that when the accountants show up, not before. How many outer boosters can we get reasonably away with? Like 8? Should be the same amount of the launch clamps, because they will need to fit next to it. I wonder if this is a sane idea. No, I don't want the decoupler, I want the tank. I'm gonna hit save, because I have a feeling at some point everything is going to crash program wise. Let's see. We're gonna make these red. Is there a red texture in there somewhere? Blue? Yeah, that's the red one. Cryogenic. But it's not a cryogenic. Let's make this slightly bigger. The diameter of this engine is 2 meters. So we're going to make this 2 meters, and we're going to make it pretty long. And this probably suggests that we should put the decoupler somewhere else, because I don't want them to stick out so super far. Oh wait, I didn't put them on the decoupler, did I? No. These decouplers are tiny. Let's see. No, I don't want the interstellar thermal helper. I want to toggle. No, come on. I've got too many little windows in my game. This is the tank. Now I lost the decoupler. Shit. Alright, new decoupler. All to get this beauty off the ground. Let's see, this one is bigger. Which one is the bigger one? This one is the heavier one, so it's probably bigger. I hope so, at least. There we go. That should do it. Are they like separable now though? Well, we'll see that we'll figure that out in test. And we're gonna put this crazy engine. It's gonna fire UDMH and NTO. Alright. Yeah, come on, almost. Come on. Snatch and attach. No. There we go. We need to raise this rocket a little bit now. Can we upgrade this one a little bit? No, we don't have the technology for the next one. We need mature staged combustion. Alright, and what do we know about this little engine? It will run for just over 2 minutes. Is this the 2.7? This is 2:53. So it will run for, yeah, handsomely over 2 minutes. It is a giant bullet. That's what the chat is saying. It looks like a giant bullet. It should be a giant bullet. Alright, all the engines in the first stage and the separators for the first stage going after the launch clamp release. This is making absolutely zero sense, this staging. Okay, so we fire off with 16 engines and another 9 engines, no, another 8 engines outside, one in the center. Then we release the clamps, then not this, then this needs to happen. Alright, then we need, of course, to fuel these up with UDMH and NTO. We're going to use the full amount, and that's now going to burn for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So that needs to be a little bit reduced, because otherwise the engines will explode. Let's take a few meters off there. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, how much was it? Was it 140 seconds? I need to watch that here. The 253 is... Oh yeah, this can work. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And the thrust to weight is now like 1% over 1. That's not a great thrust to weight. It's not that good. That's actually pretty horrible. And if we start building second stages on top of it, it won't even get off the ground. Is the answer then to double the outside boosters? Like have 16 of them? I think that's the answer. Let's see if we can get this decoupler so we can just copy everything. Yes. Alright, now we're gonna have to fire every engine at once. And these ones, do they have fuel already? No, they don't have fuel yet. Now we have a thrust to weight. Now we have a thrust to weight. Yeah, and the chat is talking about the gyro jet. I actually did know about that. It's rocket propelled bullets that were invented or thought up basically for use in space. They're like tiny RPGs, and they were probably weird. But we're talking of regular rockets today. Okay, maybe we have to do a reality check. Where the hell is this thing even going? Is this going to be like lift the space station in one go with 70s technology? I think it might, and I don't think that's not a bad thing. Let's get some nose cones going here. Yeah, maybe I should have put this on before I copied it. And maybe I should increase this one. Yeah, that doesn't go smoothly. Advanced nose cone? Do we need advanced nose cones? No, we need procedural nose cones. Everything procedural. Let's go. Larger diameter. And a bit higher for a nice aerodynamic shape. I'm just eyeballing that. I'm such a great aerodynamics engineer. Let's see. The editor is getting frightfully choppy already. That's not a good sign. But as soon as we have finalized the first stage, we're going to save it and put it in a sub-assembly. Then we can work. Work on second stages. Chad is also asking what is SLT in the Delta V menu. I'm thinking this is sea level thrust to weight ratio. Right, we have 9.5 kilometers per second of Delta V out of a first stage. Granted, that is without any payload on top of it, only this very small capsule. With an escape stage, of course, because well, escaping launches like these could be necessary. Struts? Nah, we probably don't need struts. Let's have a test flight. Let's have a test flight. I think this is 3 million tons already. Are you kidding me? No, it's 3,000 tons. That's not too bad. 3,000 tons, whereas our launch pad is rated for 800 tons. But I think the simulation doesn't really care about that. If it does, we might be in trouble. Yeah. Simulate. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm being quoted. We probably don't need struts. That's date stamped 2016. If I'm gonna die, it's probably gonna be repeated forever. We don't need struts. Hell no. Our engineers, they weld good, man. They weld good. Our seams will hold. See, the only innovation we have used from the big science advances are so far the bigger procedural tanks. That's it. None of the better solar panels or anything, just the bigger tanks. Alright, the staging has been messed up. Let's fix that. Oh, god damn it. Come on, go into the yeah. You too. Wait. Oh, we actually have 16 launch clamps as well. Alright. I can deal with that. No. Something is going really wrong. Alright, put these launch clamps in stage 5. Make stage 5 be stage 4. Not stage 3, stage 4. Yeah, there we go. Alright, SAS on for what it's worth. Let's have a look at the screen. Look how much liquid oxygen we have, like so much. Alright, full thrust. I'm feeling some FPS problems already, which is not a good sign. Let's fire the engines. Right, everything is on. Yeah, startup sequence is running. Are all my engines on? Yeah, their thrust has been established. Alright, let's release the clamps. Insufficient avionics. Locking controls. We are rising. Very, very slowly. I thought the thrust to weight is at like 1.2. That's low. But it's not this low. Are all the engines firing? Yeah, everything is firing. But what's wrong? Is it just that the frame rate has dropped to like 1? Is that it? Oh yeah, I can't control the rocket because there's no avionics unit on here. Advanced Nildonics. Yeah, this is just the first stage, but it's troubled so far. I think the delta V calculator was lying. This is not a 1.2 thrust to weight ratio, not at all. This was a lot lower. It was over 1 though. And yeah, if you're thinking you should be starting to make some kind of steering turn, I can't because we didn't put any flight control avionics on there. I can't control the rocket and neither can Jebediah. That's not great, not great. Maybe we need to be reasonable and scale this rocket down because I probably won't be having a nice time launching this every time. And it would make it pretty hard to talk about anything like resembling the real world. Like, oh yeah, this rocket resembles absolutely nothing because we made it up. And then again, it is quite fun to make stuff up. And look at those engines just pulsing happily away. Actually, yeah, it might be the frame rate that caused us to lift off so slow. Because look at how slow the meter per second in the calculations are actually depleted. It could be that it's just the game's physics running that slowly. Oh shit, we've got engine failure. Now what I gotta do, we've got one engine with reduced performance. If it fails completely, I'm going to try and get the opposite one and disable that so that we don't crash. Right now it's virtually impossible to find out. Oh, I can by doing this. Alright, here it is. It's this one. What is wrong with it? It's not producing enough. It's producing half thrust. Yeah, can I do that with this one as well? Now the rocket is big enough to compensate. It doesn't matter. The engine is we've got partial engine out capability. No worries. This one has yeah, the specific impulse is unaffected, it's just burning half speed. There is a problem, one of many, is that this rocket is so amazingly heavy. I don't think we have any flight control systems that can control it. The majestic ascent of the walkway on the nice one. Yeah, this makes me want to reconsider more. Maybe a rocket like this with a proper second stage could work, where it just punches up straight up, flies 10 kilometers per second of delta V vertically, and then does whatever it wants to do. Basically be like a rocket-powered space elevator. I wonder how far we'll be able to take this crazy rocket, see if it even works. I am worried about the frame rate though. Because it's obviously not the graphic. Yeah, it's definitely the frame rate. The thrust to weight was actually 1.2. But look at that, if I'm just panning the viewer and just pressing down on the right arrow, it completely shudders to a halt. It's probably thanks to the realistic-ish fuel dynamics that are going on in all these procedural tanks and engines that are quite intensive to do. If that's the case, things should get better after ditching these side boosters. So yeah, we're gonna go on with designing this overly massive maximum capability rocket, and then probably going to never ever use it again, because we'll get similar capability out of more advanced rockets. We can build smarter rather than bigger. We're gonna try. We're gonna see what we can do with the 70s tech we have right now. Jen is asking what's the orbital speed. Orbital speed is not 6.5, it's more like 7.8. It's like just under 8. So orbital speed is pretty fast. And yeah, we already are not gonna make it with this one. But because we're doing a stupid ascent profile going straight up. But as I said, we don't have, I'm kidding, but we don't have control of this rocket. Probably need to stack like 600 tons worth of avionics because they go like, they control like a few, it's not millions, it's thousands. We need to stack like 5 avionics so we can do that. Then we can control it. Then we can probably steer it into orbit. But the first stage here is so massive, we can get a relatively large, not overly large, second stage on there, which also has like 7 kilometers per second of delta V. So I don't know, because if we take this first stage, but like reduce its length by half. Oh yeah, look at that. The disabled engine is still burning because it hasn't exhausted its fuel. Let's actually shut down that one so it can stop destabilizing the rocket and ditch the side boosters. Yeah, oh no, I'm seeing explosions. Yeah, that didn't go well. It did go really weird though. Like, how did that even happen? What happened to this bit of rocket? It's just like poofed. It it's gone. It's like a magic trick. Alright, let's fire everything we have, see what we can do here. Look, hey, there is a very over-engineered capsule to space delivery system. There's a lot of spent boosters. Can we take Jebediah on a small excursion? Let's have him go explore. Can he go through this part? No, I don't think so. No. All right, Jebediah, you're gonna go on an adventure, buddy. I think we have established that this rocket is not very feasible. We don't have the avionics to control it. Ooh, these are still really hot. Be careful with that, buddy. We don't have the avionics to control this. We can't steer it into orbit. The thrust to weight is pretty horrible. It makes my machine go nuts. Um, what more is there? I want Jebediah to say hi to these spent boosters. I mean, he's dead anyway because the capsule cannot survive a 2 kilometer per second ish straight down plummet. That doesn't work for it. So the best bet Jebediah has is to have some fun before he dies. And somehow, even though I keep thrusting down, these stages are escaping from it. As long as I keep thrusting down, I get closer. But then if I let off on the jetpack, no, now they do. I don't know why. Maybe they had decelerated a little bit in the outer atmosphere, and we're actually moving away from him. But yeah, the main Pichu cores are over there. What are those then? Like that's those are the fairings that were blown outside. Yeah, and here we're coming up on this Rosetta of spent stages. I don't know why I'm doing this. Probably just for dicking around. Um, yeah, maybe this was a fool's errand. Maybe. On the other hand, my frame rate is still not great. Oh yeah, because still every part is still simulated. I'm kind of not understanding why my frame rate isn't great. Because not a lot is happening right now. But maybe all these fuel tanks are still having simulations applied to it. That could be something. Invisible struts? I don't know what invisible struts are. Let's see. Yeah. This looks strangely peaceful. Look at that. We have the Earth. We have scattered lots of boosters everywhere. I'm going to just take away the UI. Look at that. This is something from an Inception movie or Fever Dream. Look at that. This is great. What the hell? Somebody take screenshots. I'm gonna do that myself. Print screen. There we go. Oh, this is a great time to be back, Corey. You can guess what the hell is going on in this bit of the video. The chat is just being great. There's this one guy is coming back from being AFK, and then someone else saying, "As you can probably gather, something went wrong." No, this is the complete intention of the test we did. Look, we're testing orbital dispersal patterns. This is completely normal. This is just another day at the office. Jebediah jetting around a slowly expanding field of debris. Actually, his fuel is probably gonna run out in like 2 minutes. Look, why? This is a philosophical question. Why is this booster special? I think that's the one that caused the rocket to explode. Because these ones separated properly. That one still has a bit of fuel in it because its engine didn't burn as well. That's what's going on. All these boosters, they're nice boosters. They didn't sabotage anything. They're happy. They're happy boosters. They're in their circle. They're all friends. And then there's this one. This is an evil booster. That one didn't want to spend all its fuel. That one felt the need to remain heavy. That one caused the rocket to explode. I feel confident that this is the explanation. That means if the rocket burns well, there is no problem, and the separation would probably go well. Look at that, this is like scuba diving. I love this. He's gonna touch base on this booster. We're gonna disrupt the circle. Like bunch it a little bit. Walk on it. Make it rotate. Alright, now it's moving. And now we visit that heavy one. Why is that one higher? We've established it's heavier. But it should be weightless, right, upon separation. So it's heavier. I would expect it to not be as far out, maybe, but not higher. It did collide with the rocket. Maybe it got a few meters per second, like one meter per second of vertical velocity, causing it to be a little bit higher. And actually, it's also further in towards the center. It's further in towards the center. So yeah, this is definitely the heavier one. It didn't separate out as much as the others. So yeah, Jebediah is definitely gonna ride this thing down. The chat suggested this was Doctor Strangelove. Here we are. He's gonna ride this thing down into the atmosphere. Let's see if we can make that happen. Look at that. There's just torpedoes everywhere. I think, yeah, his fuel is really low. That's gonna be a challenge in the riding down. Whoa, look at the altitude. We're already like deep inside the atmosphere. We've been dicking around for a while. All right, stand on this booster for me, please. Then you might actually need it for. I'm so curious if this will work as a improvised heat shield for our buddy Jeb. I'm definitely feeling some arrow effects. It's not a good. Yeah, look at that. This one is the heavy one. The other ones are being are not being what I don't know what I'm saying. The other ones are whoa shit. Look at that one being heavy. It's going down much faster than the others. Sort of. Yeah, and I think Jebediah is gonna be screwed soon. He's skydiving without a parachute now. Oh shit! He's oh actually he's not going fast enough to like properly burn up. He's decelerating at like 8 Gs. 9, 10, 11, but that shouldn't last for long. Yes. Is he gonna make it? I mean, it's only a simulation, of course. This is not Jebediah. This is a computer subroutine. But I am super curious whether he's gonna make it or not. He's decelerated to below terminal velocity. Looking at the sunset. Oh my god, this guy. He went. I mean, could we maybe find his capsule somewhere? It's only 13 kilometers up. Oh, there's some stuff that's dropping past him. Can we see what that is? It's debris from Pichu. I kind of figured, yeah. What's gonna happen? Helmet down. Yeah, he can breathe some fresh air. No breathable atmosphere. Think again, buddy. Oh, what's happening to his mouth? What the hell? Want to do an EVA report, buddy? Flying at Earth on EVA. Yeah, keep that, scribble that down. See what happens. Oh my god, his mouth, man, that's crazy. He's out of EVA propellant. That's something. His mouth, his friggin' mouth. Oh my god, but that suborbital Rosetta of boosters was really tranquil. He did become Pac-Man. All right, we have. He's like sinking really slowly. Actually, let's see if we can accelerate time a little bit, because otherwise it does get a little bit boring. And we did want to design a rocket after all. All right, we don't have any EVA propellant to make him land on his head. That's probably not gonna work out. Yeah, I think it's time we say goodbye to Jeb. See you, buddy. Yeah, he did die. Oh, hey, look at that. We the capsule is here. Let's see if he would have been better off not leaving that capsule. Yeah, this doesn't have a parachute, so he's. Oh, it does have parachutes. Yeah, surprise. He would have been off great not leaving his capsule. He would have been totally fine. Look, we can just like deploy everything, and yeah, he'd be fine. Okay, we know this now. Let's not tell his family. Let's revert to the editor. And with that, I really need a small visit for the toilet. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back, and I'm just reading the chat. And one of the longtime viewers, Rise Wolf, he has found all the stuff they made for KSP contracting. That was awesome. You guys made some killer stuff then. So I'm thinking, what are we gonna do? I can cut this in half, make it smaller, but then we're not utilizing the 10-meter diameter we've been given, and I kind of want to use that. We can also make it shorter, but then we're not making use of the full burn time of the engines. But we may not need to. We may need fewer engines. But that looks stupid. I think I'm going to add control units and see if we can control this big one. Let's see, where is the Saturn 1 control ring? That one was unlocked for us. Do I have to call it Saturn? Maybe I just go conventional and look in the command and control bit. No. Where are my avionics packages? Parachute, freight, science? It's not science, it's probably utility because everything is in here. Life support tank, no. I want to get the control on it so we can try and fly this crazy thing into orbit. Obviously, if that doesn't work, we may need to revisit, because if we can just keep building and add a second stage, although then it won't. No, that's stupid either way, because that second stage is going to be absolutely tiny if it's not going to break this 1.2 thrust away. What do you guys say? Do another KSP contracting run. I wouldn't know when, but we can do something similar where you guys can build something. Anyway, let's now focus on this crazy machine. Where are these guidance packages? See, I didn't find these one either. Where are these? They're in command? Is that here? I want the Saturn 1 control ring, which I think we did unlock. Like how much tonnage? Yeah, 0.2 tons. That's not gonna cut it. Alright, I'm gonna have a sneak peek in the R&D center to see where. Cool. Guys in chat are saying they would be up for another KSP contracting run. Well, I'm not no promises, but we could do something. Maybe a one-off. If you guys just want to go ahead and build something, that'd be cool. Perhaps we could do something like that in like vanilla KSP, because that's somewhat easier to just get some new people into, to get them to throw together something and then see it back on screen. But yeah, that was fun. We had like a bit. Yeah, vanilla 1.2. This is fucking crazy. I know. Yeah, that was a good ship. Like the big tripod. That was ridiculous. The one that went to Duna and back. Actually, I think that went pretty well, didn't it? I don't remember. But the ship itself was great. All right, I got this. No, what did I want to? I'm lost, guys. What the hell? This rocket was so big. Sound like a B-rate porn star. His rocket was so big. Yeah, we know what you mean. Oh yeah, this is the one. Was it? No. Oh, I don't actually have it. It's like not researched yet. Oh, derp. Derpy derp. This one would allow 1500 tons, so we would only need 2. But yeah, ours weighs a little bit more and we don't have it. So we're gonna stack lots and lots of shittier ones and control it that way, just to give it a go with Jebediah at the helm. Alright, load up the VAB. Yeah, this has got to be scaled down, but I feel sad. I don't want to scale it down. I want to scale it up, make it bigger. I don't want to not build something because my computer can't handle it. Should I order extra processors, like get a little Cray unit going, just to simulate rockets? Like spend more on the computers to simulate the rockets than on the actual rockets? Alright, that's maybe stupid. 300 tons. We are at 2.4. We don't need to control immediately. We're going to go for like 4 of these units. Let's see about this. Let's see how this goes. Alright. I think this will be epic. Here we go, same deal. Let's simulate it. It costs as much as a real rocket, but let's simulate it. Alright, loady, loady, loady. Come on, don't let me down. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just checking on the forum post I made in the forums. Yeah, there's no one there. No one's reading those things. Alright, SAS on. We don't have SAS. We have a vertical speed of 500 micrometers. Alright, well done computer for telling us that. Oh no, I have no idea which episode. I think if you just Google KSP contracting, there were like 15 episodes or so. They should all be still up there. I didn't do anything to them. That was years ago, god damn it. At this point, I've been playing KSP longer than some of my relationships. Yeah, I've been playing KSP longer than any of my relationships. Holy shit, that's sobering. Right, let's fire this rocket. I have moved to 3 different countries whilst playing KSP. Granted, sometimes it was back and forth, but yeah, this thing is growing up to be a life companion. That's a bit strange actually, but I don't really mind it. There we go. Back into the old days of 0.18, when everything was a horrible frame rate chuggy mess. Still don't quite get why that happened, but probably has something to do with like real fuels or real plumes where they look at that. This is just silly. This is such a low frame rate. Yeah, after this one we're gonna scale down and make it smaller because I can't deal with this. This will not. If I'm gonna build a rocket like this, it's gonna get worse with more stages on it. I'm not going to be able to make an episode within like a month because just a launch to orbit already takes like almost 15 minutes. If it's then going to happen at like 1% of real time, that's going to be really long. Oh, KSP Contracting has 36 episodes. Nice! Oh my god. I mean, sometimes when I upload a video, I see my channel, it's like, yeah, there's more than 500 videos. It's like, oh my god, that's so many hours. So many hours of content. And it's all pretty much sort of the same, but not quite. And there's always these like couple of dozen, sometimes couple hundred people that are diligently watching them all. That's, you know, it's fun. It's fun. And this rocket is not controllable yet because we do have avionics, but currently the systems cannot crunch the way to control the oh my god, you guys in chat, you're going as the rocket gets lighter, at some point the avionics should be able to make sense of things and start controlling it. It's just like the real thing in my computer. It's too heavy, there's too much stuff going on. So the avionics read my processor just cannot do it. That's the sad truth of it. Unfortunately, nothing can be done about it. How's that? Chat was saying that my voice is a bit distant compared to the rocket noise, which is fair enough. I tested it at the beginning of the stream with like a single ethanol engine, and we've got now those, what is it, like 45 bigger engines. Tuna boys. Nice. Now reminiscing about the series I did 2 years ago? 3? 1.5? No, 2.5. Between 2 and 3 years ago. That's so crazy long ago. But yeah, if you're interested, you can go on the YouTube channel or the Googles and find them. It was called KSP Contracting. The format was where the viewers would make rockets, like designs, and submit them to me, and I would fly them according to their instructions, and that hilarity ensued. Lots of hilarity ensued. They would like build crazy things that couldn't even fly if they wanted to, or that could fly but only if you like press the exact correct button sequence and made everything go nuts with lights. Oh my god, this performance is crazy. I thought I had a setup that was doing pretty well. I mean, the rockets that are in the episodes definitely don't behave like this. I mean, whilst recording video, I get between 40 and 60 FPS. These are a lot of engines. These are the highest amount of engines I've used so far. So what would happen if we take these outer engines, put them on the center core, do it like that? Because apparently it's a 10-meter wide core full of engines is a bit ridiculous. Alright, we are... Alright, episode 1 was April 4th, 2014. That's 2.5 years ago. After like 7,000 guesses, I got it right. Alright, we have control of this rocket. We are going to ditch the outside boosters that did fine and didn't burn out. So if our forensic conclusions from the last time were accurate, no explosions this time. Here we go. Whoa, the fairing's also going away, just barely clearing the rocket, but we have a clean separation, and this rocket looks ridiculous because it's not actually a rocket. Surprise, it's a booby trap. Alright, this is supremely controllable, not thanks to the RCS on the capsule, but thanks to like the million rocket engines that are firing. Now if we don't sustain any failures, we're gonna pull some crazy G's near the end of this stage. It's going to be absolutely ravaging Jebediah. I mean, we're at 2 G's right now. There is still a lot of fuel to be burned away. There is still 6.5 kilometers per second of delta V that's still going to happen within those 2 minutes. That means, especially near the end, we're gonna apply 3 kilometers per second of delta V in 1 minute. That's about 50, that's actually not that bad. That's 3,000 meters per second in 1 minute. Divided by 60 is 300 divided by 6 is 50 meters per second squared. Actually, that's only like 5 Gs. So maybe it's not that bad. But I think it's gonna be more, especially in the last like couple seconds. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go sideways. This barrel of rockets is going sideways. The frame rate has improved, but not by as much as I would think it did. The number of engines has roughly halved. They are out of simulation range. I think it really is the number of engines and the fact that, oh, look at those nozzles. I know each engine is 4 nozzles and basically just 1, but still, it's a lot of nozzles in a weird configuration. If anyone would build this for real, it's like, why the hell did you pack them so close in the outer ring and then have 4 like all the way in the center? But oh well. Can you imagine this being a real rocket? Like a 1960s engine completely filling this massive cylinder and then ringed with more efficient, better, smarter engines, but they're discarded. And then we're riding the kerosene madness into orbit. We're almost gonna make orbit as well. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. And now I'm really unhappy with the fact that the frame rate is so bad, because I kind of wanted to actually continue with this. Like have a big honking rocket with a massive upper stage that has like 7 engines as well, and then just go places with it. And I suppose I can still do it. I'll just need to be like supremely patient, which I'm not. And that really is the problem. Because come on, this is amazing. But on the other hand, if only the number of engines is the limiting factor, a upper stage that's not firing isn't going to be that much worse. Yeah, the good thing about this is if one of the engines fails, it's really not going to do much of anything, because the others will just be able to gimbal and fix it, and otherwise we can roll. Yeah. Alright, we are now going to pull some serious G's. It's 10 Gs, and there's still 2 oh my god, we've got 14 seconds of burn time, 1800 meters per second. That's like 20 Gs. Oh my god. Jebediah, hold on. You're not gonna have a nice time. Just a few more seconds, buddy. Just a few more seconds. We need a second stage to dampen this out a little bit. Oh my god. And that's it. How many Gs was that? 18. That's a lot. That's a lot for an ascent. But if there is a second stage, it's not going to be as bad, obviously. And as to the proposal to do a mission, yeah, absolutely, we could do that, but we need a second stage because now we're still just at the Earth. We can't really go anywhere with this yet. So let's actually keep this stupidly big rocket and build something on top of it. Yeah, we're going to build a big ass second stage. Yeah. A slightly smaller second stage, actually. A more reasonable second stage. And see what that does to the initial thrust of weight. Because if that is going to decrease it, we cannot increase the first stage anymore. There's just no space for it. Then we have to decrease it to be more efficient. Alright, let's see. Just to be safe, I'm going to put this in a sub-assembly. There we go. Sub-assembly drop zone. We'll call this the Pichu booster. Alright, that's a Pichu booster. There we go. Now we can delete this. We are definitely going to need this stack of controllability because we will need to control it earlier. This can be like a payload simulator, right? This is a bit silly. Alright, we'll get a procedural tank. No, I shouldn't Google procedural, and I should just put tank. Tank, tank, tank. And I wonder, should we make it a 2 or a 3 stage rocket? Because if we're gonna make it a 2 stage rocket, then I kind of want to use the restartable, what is it? This one. The one that has 5 ignitions and is super efficient, but is really puny. So we're gonna need like a couple of them. Yeah, I think that's a nice one. Let's take a different shape. Let's take a cone. Let's take the cone at the top. Let's match it with all these control units. At the bottom it can be slightly wider, a bit longer. And of course all these control units shouldn't really be on this stage. They should be on the first stage, but because they're so small that makes no sense. So that's not gonna happen. This is our life support payload simulator. Thrust plate. Let's make the thrust plate bigger. Size. Let's have. Let's see. How many nodes are we gonna put? Are we gonna put 8 engines on this one? Yeah, 8 engines around and 1 in the center. Which one was it? It was this one. I need to put it. Yeah, come on, little engine, behave. Thanks. And we're gonna get this one for sure. Better specific impulse. That's always a good deal. And let's get one for the center, shall we? Now let's move them inwards. Yeah, that's a good configuration. We'll put full utilization and put the kerosene liquid oxygen in there. This gives it a burn time of 14 minutes, which this one just doesn't have. What is the burn time on it again? The burn time is... Wait, is it not? This is the 33M. Yeah, it's rated for 5 minutes. That's not good. It's not that good. Can we get a better one even? No, we can't. We need advanced staged combustion, which we apparently don't have. Alright, so 5 minutes it is. This one needs to be smaller then. And I want a cryogenic tank. Do we have that already? Is that tech developed? Cryogenic, yeah. Cool, that also came in that node then. That's nice. Okay, full of the right fuel. And let's have it smaller. Wait, this small? Is it that dense? Holy shit. Alright. I might... No, it doesn't help if I like light half of them before the other. Node offset. Yeah, go towards the outside. Alright, this has a thrust to weight of 0.75. That's actually pretty okay for a second stage. And holy shit, 5.8 kilometers per second is also definitely okay for a second stage. Also some science stuff. Yeah, this thing can definitely fly a lap around the moon. But yeah, the occupant will probably die. Let's see, electric panel. Let's test out these. Extendable sun tracking solar panel. We definitely need that on here. And let's see if we can now mate this ridiculous first stage to it. If this works, my god, that's going to be one hell of a capable second stage. 6 kilometers per second, 9 engines. How heavy is this thing? 81 tons. I could for like something like a probe, I could like put a small third hypergolic stage on there, get some real awesome delta V going. For like a Mars probe, this seems really nice. It still seems like massive overkill as well, but really nice also. Let's grab this booster. I did grab it, didn't I? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can attach this to anything. Yeah, people in chat, you're thinking about science, fairings, batteries, that's all really good. But we're still designing the actual launch vehicle. And then we can just put any payload on top of it. And because I think what's going to happen now is we're going to test this. It's going to do ridiculous because it's like a Donald Trump of rockets. And crash KSP because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, it's not responding actually, that's not good. Oh shit, it duplicated like 8 times. Yeah, that would take a while. Let's disable symmetry. And after we have like tried this, we're going to reduce the first stage a bit to the point where it's still functional. And then we may actually end up with a real life rocket. Because this, I mean, intuitively this size is just wrong, because this thing is so massive and then there's like this relatively tiny small thing perched on top of it. Let's get some struts. No, we can't. Ejection, it needs more ejection power because these fairings didn't clear anything even close as to what they should. Alright, I need to set up the staging more better because... Oh wait, is this even a decoupler? This fairing base, is that a decoupler? Yeah, it is a decoupler. So that's going to decouple. And only then are these 9 engines gonna fire. And the beauty with so many engines is that, yeah, it really is, it becomes okay for one to fail because the others have enough gimbal capacity to like completely compensate for that. Alright, and look at that, we built like a whole extra rocket on it, and our first stage thrust to weight has gone from 1.2 to 1.17. So this thing doesn't even notice if there's anything here. So it also costs at this point almost 10% of our entire budget to build one, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it's also fun times. I'm not honestly sure if we're going to be able to do a mission. Actually, I don't think we'll be able to do a mission because we can't get this rocket into production. Actually designing something that does a mission, like a payload with functioning batteries, science equipment, proper antennae set up to relay everything home, landers, proper engines for that will take at least as long as setting up this rocket. And I don't have stuff like that on the shelf. I need to like microwave my coffee a bit because it's really cold. I'll be right back. Alright, here we are on the launch pad. Things are looking, well, I would say things are looking great, but it's going to probably be a very, very choppy ride up again. Anyway, here we go, launching the engines. See, the dildo has been slightly enlarged. That's, yeah, I cannot not make that an euphemism, I don't know how that goes. Alright, we have avionics for a 2,405 ton vessel. Our vessel is currently 3137, so we're gonna have to burn some fuel before we can actually start to control it. I don't know how long that will take, probably just seconds in real world time. No, probably just seconds in the game time, but hours in the real world time. And this is immediately the reason that this rocket will never ever actually fly, because I won't be able to stand this for much longer. And I think what we have done here, because the delta V is high, but it's not ridiculous. I mean, it's like 14 kilometers per second. It's more than the rocket I had in the episode, but it's not a lot more. So what we've probably done is entered like right at the far edge of diminishing returns, and we can probably cut this small rocket in half, whilst keeping 90% of the delta V. And for our next attempt, I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it shorter. And yeah, that's going to, oh shit, we have engine failure. We need to do something about that. Probably. It's one of the RDs. It's that one. What is up with it? Come on, our SAS control unit can deal with that failure. Do we have avionics control yet? No, not yet. Oh my god. Mission elapsed time is 46 seconds. I bet you thought it was longer. I'm going to research why this is taking such a performance hit. I mean, sure, it's a big Rocco with a couple hundred parts and a lot of engines, but I don't think it should be this bad. Alright, we have control. We're gonna try and steer it sideways for a optimal, efficient approach. Haha, as if we can do that. Let's see, I'm gonna try and keep the heading indicator inside the prograde indicator. That's what I learned from, I forgot your name, sorry, one of my YouTube viewers. Shit. Control is hard when their frame rate isn't existing. Actually, the graphical frame rate I think is existing because no, that's an illusion. The indicators are very choppy as well. Alright, we're approaching Mach 1. Still have 13 kilometers per second of delta V in tanks. This could be a good rocket because we have. It could be so great. This frame rate shit is really pumping me out. Because the idea was sound. We have a massive inner core that burns for a long time and thus can carry many fuels, many liters of fuels. We have outer boosters that burn for a shorter time and then drop away, making it like a stage and a half thing. And then we get a second stage that's, for a second stage, relatively big, but doesn't matter because the first stage is so huge. That has multiple restarts in a cryogenic tank, so we can finalize the orbit and insertion anywhere. Then because both of these things are so big, we can have a third hypergolic stage for like the Martian circularization burn or whatever that takes more than like a week after initial launch. This was a good idea. This was a good idea. I think. But I can't test it because my PC will melt. And that's an issue. I have noticed that the graphic mods are, they did like have a small impact on the frame rate. It got like a little bit less steady. It'll still be high, but it'll just be a little choppy when it tries to grab the texture pack or something. But this, my god, this is something else. So we're gonna have to scale down. We're gonna have to settle for less. We're gonna have to, I think, cut the number of side boosters in half and use less main engines as well, fewer main engines, and just make it workable that way. It's a pity. And I think to that end, we'll just try this one now. And yeah, we'll give it. We'll start on the smaller redesigned version. We'll probably not finish it tonight because I have things to do, work emails to send and read, and it's all incredibly boring, but it needs doing. And at some point we'll I hope maybe even tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, but one of these other evenings I could jump on the stream again and finish this. I mean, I'm gonna oblige myself to 5 years. I love it that you 5 guys are here, but it's not a million, unfortunately. I don't think I'll get a million viewers. It's this kinda highly technical but not really scientific rocket design. I suppose that's a niche market if ever there was one. Alright, we have side booster burnout, no failures. Let's release the Kraken, the jelly ring. We know what's gonna happen. Jebediah is escaping, and yeah, this whole set of torpedoes is now being set adrift. And we should get a couple of frames per second back. We now have a very suspect conical shape. That's yeah, as I said, suspect. We're at 80 kilometers. I think it's safe to just basically wrench this thing around. And there we go. Ooh, there's more failures. Was there another failure? No, it's just a refresh of the window or something. Let's see. The rocket is banking left and right a little bit, but it's still actually really slow. It's at 1500 meters per second. That's like terrible. So efficiency wise this isn't even good. So we have this massive bullet and it's not even efficient. It's really brawny, but it's just being brawny for the sake of being brawny. I mean that's not good in most things, but it's definitely not good in rocket things. So yeah. I wonder performance wise if this would work just fine. Oh yeah, look at that, this sometimes happens and the parts seem to disconnect. That can't be good for performance either. If this was functionally one engine, like with a big massive thrust output, a big fuel consumption, the same stats as it being an aggregate one, but not being an aggregate one, I think it will perform a lot better. Let's make it a slightly less phallic by dropping the fairing, but now it's more penetrative because it has like the big shank on the front. Let's get rid of that. That didn't get rid of it. I thought I had an action group set up, but I didn't. Alright, let's see if we can get into, well, we should be able to get into orbit easily. I mean, there's still 10 kilometers per second left and we're already 2 kilometers per second on the way. Whew. Jeez, I've been talking for a long time. Let's see, what are we getting up to? I kind of want to get to the nuclear engine and stuff. I like those better. You can keep mass relatively low and get like some high efficient crazy tech into space. You get like a first stage like this and then just lob a Orion pulse nuclear thing to 80 kilometers and then just start chugging nuclear bombs and making everyone's day horrible except the one that you were. That sentence got away from me. I don't even know if there's an Orion Pulse engine in this mod pack, so let's not talk about Orion Pulse engines. They're so awesome. Alright, now we're probably not going to go to 19 Gs again, or what was it, 17, 18? Probably not gonna have that, because well, the second stage is there now. Hey, there's a new one in chat. Hi, the gaming bucket. Game bucket, yeah. See ya. No, not see ya, I mean like, hi, welcome. What we have is a magically attached thrust blade with many engines propelling a big bullet, actually called a second stage, which also has quite a bit of engines, into an orbit where we'll see. Actually, where are we going? Oh shit, I hit spacebar. Did that not do anything? I hope it didn't do anything. I can still see this, so I think maybe it didn't. I hit M first. Oh my god. Right, are we actually going anywhere? We are definitely not accidentally going anywhere. So we're just going to go far out into space, see what the performance of this is going to be. Actually, the performance is pretty kick-ass so far. I mean, we're at 200 kilometers. Yeah, it was a very steep ascent, but yeah, I'll reiterate, this rocket, even though it's eating my computer alive, is really good. As it seems like it's lumbering into orbit like really slow, but this is like 5 minutes. That's not so slow. That's actually kinda fine. It's about as far as, no, it's a lot further than the first stage on the R7, because this one is going to take it almost all the way to orbit. We're at like 5 kilometers per second of downrange velocity. This rocket is super good. It's amazingly good. it's just completely unworkable because a launch takes like 20 minutes to get to this point. That's just unplayable. But the concept is sound. If we can find some engines that are fewer in number but will deliver the same performance, which we don't have, we should be golden, and thus we won't be golden, which is a bit galling. I don't like that. I thought about this rocket for a long time, and I tried to reason it out and find engines that fit with the idea, and turns out it works really well, except not really. That's just sour. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We have a very stable set of engines. Let's ignite them. We have 4 ignitions left. There we go. And the thrust to weight here is tiny, but we are accelerating away. We have 2 minutes until apoapsis, and we have about 1 kilometer per second to go. Yeah, that should work out fine. These engines are great. They deliver almost no thrust, like 67 kilonewtons. But they have multiple ignitions. They're cute. They're good. They'll burn happily for like 5 minutes. Look, this is our simulated payload a couple of times. Could all be life support if you had more efficient avionics. Or if we were smart and put the big high mass avionics on the first stage, where they wouldn't count as much towards the mass penalty as they do here. So yeah, this doesn't count against the rocket. If we were to get rid of these and just add like 1 ton of life support, which would support Jebediah for a long time, this is a really nice upper stage. Yeah, maybe I'm loving on this upper stage a little bit too much. Let's extend the solar panel, see how that works. Yeah, it works like solar panel. Who would have known? Whoa, they deliver so many watts though. I'm used to the small blocks from the earlier tech notes. They give like 40, maybe 60 watts. So at least with these solar panels, all our electric worries are gone. And I'm seeing that Griswolf in the chat is like recommending to deploy the solar panels, and they're of course a few seconds, like 10 or 20 seconds, maybe quite a bit a second behind. And I just have to say, great minds think alike. Yeah, we deploy our solar panels, we become happy people. And yeah, at this point we have built the best rocket our space program has known so far. We are nears makes no difference in orbit, and we still have just under 5 kilometers per second to spend, and that is with a big chunk of dead weight on the second stage. This could be a 3rd stage that could take us really far. That's great and all, but we come back to the previous point where this rocket is for all intents and purposes unplayable. We cannot use this. At least I can't. The show wouldn't be good. The video footage would be choppy beyond belief, and yeah, I would just stop making the videos because it's no fun if a launch takes 30 minutes. That's just not good. Just not good. This is a good visual though. This does look good. I reckon the solar panels get like most of their energy here from photons from the chemical reaction. So that's maybe that will give, if we use electric pumps to drive the fuel into the nozzle, it will give like a microsecond of specific impulse. You know, we're harvesting some radiative power back from the exhaust, feeding that into pumps that nah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That's just crazy drunk ramblings, and I'm not even drunk. Look at those real exhausts, by the way, real plume. I'm loving it. It looks really good. Maybe that's the one that's making it perform badly though. But I can't really go spend countless hours trying to figure out what makes that rocket, which was stupendously big, perform bad. That's... oh, we can jettison this. Oh, now it's not jettison, but it provided a few extra meters per second. Chad is saying it would be a good excuse to buy a ridiculous PC. So, like, there's this game, And I've got like a whole bunch of mods that probably aren't even meant to work together. So yeah, this is why I had to write a botnet. This is why I had to use like 4 million PCs distributed around the globe. One of them a supercomputer from MIT. I had to use it because otherwise my rocket didn't fly fast enough. This makes sense, yes, officer? This is a good story? Good. Please, can I now continue? I've got 5 people waiting for me to see where this thing goes. Five people, of course, being you guys, the viewers in this Twitch chat right now. If that wasn't obvious. I kind of want to get rid of this. Yeah, that didn't really go far, right? Let's see if we can shake it off. Yeah, there you go. I kind of want to simulate an engine out on this one, see what happens if we do that. Let's deactivate this one. Can the gimbals compensate? Yeah, the gimbals can compensate just fine if we disable another one. Yeah, they're still fine. Disable another one. Still fine. This is awesome. Look at that, you can see them turning. What if we disable the center one as well? Yeah, then now it's going out of control. Alright. Alright, now we have an actual failure. And the thing is rotating and I don't have any RCS. Okay, this is going to be hard to fix. Alright, this stage is awesome. I might even design it to do a little bit of overburn if it suffers engine out this well. Alright, you are going to be shut down. You are not good anymore. Now the rest is going to be enabled. Activate engine. Oh, the problem is there's probably... Oh, it is spinning. Maybe the fuel is still stable because it's spinning and it will settle near the engines. Okay, let's ignite it again. Right, here we go. Back towards the center, please. Oh shit, I don't... maybe I have messed it up. It is gimbaling a lot. Maybe it only was stable because it was already going forward. Yeah, this is not making things go better. Oh well. We had a good run. This is a good design, right? I mean, it doubles as like a carousel. it's circling really fast, and the fun bit is because there's engines off right now. All the other ones are like overburning, so they're gonna like fail one after the other. And now after a bit, we have the engines that we shut down before. They are probably still good, but we have to have some way to get rid of this rotation before we can use those. And I don't have RCS, at least when I hit the RCS key, nothing happened. Can these engines please go ahead and... oh, I have a throttle key as well. There's no reason not to use that one. And one of the add-ons I have that are nice to showcase is persistent rotation. In the vanilla game, if you now hit time warp, your craft is dead center. Not so in realism overhaul. Look at that, I'm time warping. This thing is spinning out. Yeah, we'll get some more funds. And it's just still rotating. So if you're out of RCS fuel at any point, you're kind of screwed. And even if I'm not out of RCS fuel, because I think I'm not, but I'm going to have to click the command pod and enable that. Yeah, enable RCS port. Yeah, this RCS thing is going to... actually, it's doing pretty well. It's slowing that... I mean, it's gonna be a few more seconds, but it's doing pretty well in slowing the rotation. If you don't have the RCS fuel, you're gonna keep tumbling. And I've had actually have re-entries fail because I was out of RCS fuel or accidentally vented it. Okay. But yeah, that's interesting. Alright, 9 engines on an upper stage. Makes sense? I think so. I'm loving this rocket so much, I just don't want to ever fly it again. Is that weird? Alright, there's really no point in... You can fire up the engines again, but that will only make things... No, we just have the center engine now. It can... The other one fixed. Yeah! Here we go. This one can just regain control. Burn away the last bit of fuel. Well done, little rocket. You're back under control. The problem is, this one engine will never ever make it. Oh, but we have more engines, right? We can... No ignitions remaining? Ignitions remaining 0. Guys. Yeah, you have ignitions remaining. Start up that engine. You have ignitions remaining. Start up that engine. Oh, start up this one as well. No! I got too greedy again. Ah, snap! This won't work. All right, let's see. Let's try once more in the editor. See if we can get away with reducing the first stage, making it slightly less ridiculous. Mind you, only slightly. Not too much less ridiculous. Ridiculous is still fun. So what do we want to do? We want to have it shorter, so have less fuel. We want to get rid of one whole bit of these booster engines, and we want to like decrease the length of this bit. See, we've cut things pretty hard. The thrust to weight is now higher, and our delta V is really similar. It's like not that much different. It's not that different. It's a little bit lower, sure, but don't forget we're also gonna have a massively more efficient ascent path. Let's just try and launch this one real quick. See if that's still such a nightmare or not. Okay, this is officially gonna be the last flight of the evening, because I'm getting tired and fed up with the game. I might sit down with a notebook and actually design a smaller one, and then roll it out on the stream for test flying it. Because there is a reason we use the Thor 7, the R7 copy so much. So much, even when it was like hardly appropriate, because it takes forever to build a rocket in this mod pack, which is really kind of great, but also kind of sucky, because it takes a lot of the accessibility out of the game, but it makes it much more of a puzzle that's sort of like the real puzzle, which is nice. Right, it's firing the engine. Yeah, this is still going to be rubbish. Maybe less so, but it's still going to be absolutely rubbish. Why is that? Is it the RD-108s that are just like super terrible? It is better, but it's not a lot better. This is gonna perform like almost the same as the other thing, because we cut away like pretty much all of the really heavy fuel that only lifted us up 200 meters. A mini contracting series. Nice, yeah. That, I mean, I've been lamenting the horrors of rocket design for like a couple hours now. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be great. For vanilla 1.2, I'll start a career save. 0 mods, kind of relaxed difficulty settings, and fly only submissions. Make an open Dropbox folder where you guys can put them. It shouldn't be too much effort. I'll not edit the videos. They'll just be stream of consciousness, actual gameplay, no editing. Should really not. Yeah, I'll do the beginning and the summary so you get some parts to play with. It'll really not cost me a lot more than just the time to play the game and some computer time to render and upload. That doesn't count. Yeah, I'll probably do it at some point, but there is a risk that it will take like focus away from this bit, which I kinda like. I want to get this realistic progression mission to, ironically, to unrealistic territories with the nuclear powers and nuclear powers and magic technology rockets. 1 per week. It sounds fun. That's as good a reason as any. Here's what. Let's do this in the new year. Let's. I mean, because my weekends are gonna be pretty much booked up until the end of the year. And then let's have a look in January. We can expect an announcement video at some point in January. Yeah, there's no hurry. I mean, we've been doing this for years and years. That's fair enough. Wait, this rocket is. Hey, this one is. Oh shit, that's a lot of control. That's what you get with like so many engines. You get so much control authority. You can just like flip it over. But yeah, but seeing this, we like basically cut the first stage fuel tank in half and removed half the outer boosters, and the performance is pretty much the same. So maybe the idea wasn't so sound at all. I mean, what we did is we built out. As I said before, we kind of maxed out the rocket equation where you don't have to. Getting those last couple hundred meters per second is like almost completely negated by the terrible ascent path you're gonna take. And while it is true that a slower ascent with more fuel will get you more delta V than a faster ascent with less fuel. The only reason it's faster is because you're not bringing as much fuel. That is not completely valid when taking into account engine burn times. Because if you're wasting like 3 of your 5 minutes of engine burn time on the first kilometer, you're wasting a lot of potential. So yeah, fuel-wise it'll be more efficient, but like maybe complete design-wise, possibly not. So we're gonna take what we've learned in this evening. I'm gonna respin it into a proposed second version, and we'll probably do another stream to continue this one at some evening this week. Yeah, I'm feeling that. That should be good fun. Yeah, and I don't really feel like flying this one into orbit. It's gonna do about the same thing. I mean, we're up to 1.5 kilometers per second. Actually, it's doing a lot better. Oh, the outer boosters are already depleted, aren't they? Oh no, they're like on the verge. Yeah, they're depleted now. So we ditch them. And yeah, this bullet is going a bit faster than last time, a couple hundred meters per second faster. And see, that's crazy because we took less fuel in the first stage. The side boosters, there's half again as many of them. Like there's fewer of them, so they're a good like indicator of what's happening. Oh wait, no, they're not. I was gonna say, so this rocket is objectively better than the first one. It's not, because at this point this stage is not going to be able to burn as long. So yeah, according to this readout, we will still get 3.5 kilometers per second, so that'll leave us at 6-ish. It'll leave us about 300 meters per second short of the rocket that was twice the size. So it's, you know, it's objectively worse, but it's half the size. Alright, well, so we're not going to continue this. We know what the rest looks like. The second stage is great, and we're still not going to get anywhere. So all that's left for me to do is to thank you for watching, as always. We will be back in the future with a respun rocket of this. I'm going to go to bed and commence the work week, you know, as we're wont to do. Good luck working and slaving and living and making choices that do or don't affect your life. I have no idea what to say anymore. Thanks for being here. See you later. Have a good week. Bye. I'm done with this rocket. We're gonna get a smaller one. 10-meter diameter is a red herring. I don't know who would ever want that. There, I said it. See, slightly unconventional spot to drop a stream, but oh well. There we go. Bye bye.